Today is February 24th, 2026. Okay. Back in December of 21, at the Oakland apartment, where they told him December 9th, 21, 4 p.m., that all the tapes before were them and not her, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes here. See if someone will stop. Okay. In December of 21, he said, I think the COVID virus damaged a lot of people's brains in this area. They think things are funny that aren't. And it's like it caused a great mental illness around here. Now think about people laughing at me. It's so funny they raped her. It's so funny they drugged her and told her to say it before. It's so funny. Then walk around harassing me. Act like they don't have a common sense in their head of things that aren't funny. Just like Lori at my other job where her family member was taken. They showed up and said it's funny. The way your family member died, they tied her up and cut her up in pieces. That's how they killed her. Mocked her in stores. These people are evil and satanic. I seen on Google where that one little girl that was taken out west, some Arizona moving drivers, they recognized the little girl from the Amber Alert, the other lady. So they called the police and they blocked that truck with her moving truck. Blocked her in. They didn't know she had a weapon. They didn't know anything. They did something heroic. And they blocked that lady in until the cops showed up. And they saved that little girl. Because hard telling what that lady was going to do. She could have taken that girl off to kill her. She could have sold her to the human traffickers. People were getting sold between like $25,000 and $50,000. Fast, easy money. Selling human beings as cattle. These people are demonic. The people in this area would have laughed. Look, haha. Little girl got taken. They're probably going to make a lot of money off of her. They're that retarded around here. They're satanic. Finding evil funny. Now, where I told you, people that show up and say stuff to me just show how evil they are. Okay. Where I told my friend Walter that used to work at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, what that agent said to me, how he told on me for calling the FBI hotline. Okay, where he spoke to me after the hotline. He told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and taken care of. Okay. He even told them he was going to turn me back over to him. He was planning on defrauding me the whole time. Okay. And then on a recorded line, how he had all those church people in his office made fun of me, how he knew they were trying to kill me. Didn't even blame them. Okay. Made fun of me for some guy named Pete. Didn't even know who he was talking about. Some dirty doctor I've never heard of. He sounded insane. Made me beg for my life, then opened up an informant case. Okay, with money and immunity. Then threatened me if I told. Now he's already been seen telling hundreds. Admitted on a recorded line. He's already met with everybody in his FBI office. They already know the FBI is involved. So why would I stay quiet? Like my friend Walter from the prosecutor's office said, that agent doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It takes a judge and a jury trial. First Amendment. Okay? He said, it's illegal for him to even say that. It's illegal for him to tell on you. It's illegal for him to bully you on the phone into false statements. He can't tell you can't say anything. He doesn't have the authority. He's a higher police officer. Takes a judge and a jury trial. Police know they can't go along with it. No judge could sign a court order taking your right of freedom of speech away. the judge would go to jail. So it's very illegal. Talk to a criminal attorney, same thing. Police Salvage hearing. I went on Google. If an FBI agent tells a victim or informant they can't say anything, it's actually a federal crime. Punishable by 20 years is tampering with a witness and obstruction to justice. They can't withhold your money. They cannot misdirect it. It's 20 to 30 years. Same thing Walter said, and the criminal attorney in place. Can't make up his own rules. And a judge cannot sign a court order that has a federal crime. Today, I got my hair done. And heard some lady in there. Karen didn't realize she lost everything. When she told the FBI was involved. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. He hadn't paid me yet. But no, I didn't. You're a liar. Henry Maffei Scrooby. And where do people think it's funny that a federal cop tells on a victim calling a hotline for help to the people that are trying to kill her? Which is a federal crime in itself. Tells them he don't care if they're trying to kill him. Admits on a recorded line, everybody knows, makes fun of the victim, makes them beg for their life. Then opens a case and then threatens the victim to stay quiet even though everybody knows they're involved. Like Walter said, the criminal attorney also said, and the police I talked to, he's only bullying you. He was only bullying me. And no judge could sign it. It's a federal crime. Like they said, the judge would go to jail. Can't be in a court order. There's guidelines. It's for getting them information and risking your life. So that lying bitch showing up there saying stuff, you were just lying for Henry Maffei. You were lying. Now, see, Grant, my one friend, had an FBI agent friend out of state. Said the same thing. Said the only one that could have stolen my money is that agent. And he probably has someone in the office helping him. They've probably been stealing for a while from victims. See, that's where they all said you can't get out. See, lately they've been leaving messages. They're trying to get her thrown out of the witness protection program so they can destroy her. They can't. They're trying to ruin her reputation so they get her thrown out. Bite me. You can't. You know, yesterday we were in Fairlawn. We had stopped at Bob Evans and get something to eat. The roads were horrible. Horrible. People going off in the ditches, sliding off. They're coming on off ramps. Even big trucks are swirling. I mean, it was horrible. Got off there. I mean, it was horrible. And we couldn't miss Carl's VA appointment. I already canceled one time because of the weather. And they told us we weren't allowed to cancel this time. And some idiots walk by. Those church people are complaining when she wears jeans. She's showing off her butt. You can't see anything. They can kiss my ass. They can kiss my fucking fat ass. I'll wear whatever I damn well please. And the godless, evil, satanic, apostolic people, long hair, long skirt, Jim Jones would call hiring drug dealers to drug beat and rape people they don't like, crush their skull in, try to murder them, sell videos of it to prove how satanistic they are. Those people that ought to cut off their hair, put a bikini on, put a beer and a cigarette in their hand, and act like the human traffickers they are. Don't put religious garbs on to cover up your sins. They're going to complain because I wear a pair of jeans. They can go fuck themselves. Because I'll tell you what, I'll wear whatever I damn well please. They can kiss my ass. The godless, sinful people showing how evil they are. Even teenagers years ago That church sending out videos of them hurting her, showing how big and tough they are. Our parents said this is why you don't go to church like those. They're a cult. They weren't a cult. They wouldn't have never said a word. They definitely would have never had anybody hurt her. Now, I want you to think about this. Where does society think it's funny? Now, Agent John will give you a little bit of the benefit of a doubt. The Hartville police had told people that you told them you were acting that way to get the drug dealers. All the police and everybody knows you told on me for calling the hotline before you talked to me. Call the hotline and you went around telling everybody. I called that you were just acting that way to get the drug dealers. You still have my money. You just haven't paid me yet. You just dangled it in front of the wolves to get them to all come out, right? We'll give you one way out. You still have my money for me, honey, right? The money I earned getting the FBI information, because that's what it was for getting you information, not blackmail to keep me quiet, right? Remember those people called you a coward? August 5th, 25. Remember they made a public fool out of you June 7th, 23, how they fooled you with all these stunts? Remember how they said they set you up to go to jail for this? It was so funny they did that. Strange hated the government, hated them. Oh, how evil they were. You have to bury your guns in the backyard and pipes. They'll brainwash your kids. They may even try to take them from you one day. Huh? Show his little doomsday about the government's coming in your home and all this other stuff. Trying to make it come true. How many of his doomsday things? So him extorting money out of the government, be getting his tax money back, or his tax money back. And they had to pay him. Be a thrill for that low-educated minister that hated the government. Now, yeah, I want my money that I earned working for that, getting the FBI information, government information for this case. I get you information on David and Church's my ass. I got you Drakasami. I got you George Peters out of Florida. All those human traffickers, the Buffalo, New York, Michigan, California. Then U.S. Marshals got thousands, saved hundreds. If it wasn't for Karen around the house, Karen's will, FBI informant, protected, home custody, threat, and attempted lie case. Like they said, they thought it was their only way into the drug cartel. They sacrificed me. Do you know it's illegal for the police or the FBI to turn you back over to drug dealers, get the drug dealers? It's illegal for them to tell anybody they can't help you. Do you know these are federal crimes? It's also illegal for an agent or a police officer to tell a victim or informant they can't say anything. It's a freedom of speech. It's a constitutional right. Only a judge in a jury trial while the proceedings are going on. Otherwise, it's 20 to 30 years in tampering with a witness. They cannot withhold your money. They cannot misdirect it. They cannot be in a court order taking your freedom of speech away. No judge could sign it. They go to jail too. The hypocrisy and the most illegal things that happened to me. I just want my money, Agent John, to help my kids and to help me and Carl. We both need new names and socials for our safety, because we're Henry Maffei bragged that he was the one inciting Carl's son and his family to take everything from him. That they beat that horse, poisoned that cat, or breaking in our home, messing with our food, stealing our stuff, threatened to kill Carl and me. And we had to move and run and hide. We need to hit better. I need medical cards. Where I got bashed in the back of the head, it is on Google, where I got jumped 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, beaten, raped, and left for dead. They're in the FBI case. And I had migraines for 2 years. My eyesight changed drastically. And then 2 years ago, they said I had 2 small cataracts on my eyes. And by last year, my eyesight got drastically worse. And they said they were fast growing ones. Did you have 2 eye injuries at once? I said, no, but I got bashed in the back of the head. He looked at, I said, really hard. Went home and Googled it. It's right on Google. Severe head injuries pushes the pressure off of in your head and in your eyes. And it can cause, years later, fast growing cataracts. Within 6 months, I had to get stronger glasses. I'm going to need surgery to remove them. I was raped, I was tortured, I was human trafficked. I was drugged till I lost 70 pounds and induced vomiting until my stomach shifted up under my wrist. My stomach was beat by those drug dealers so bad they almost ruptured my intestines. I have severe pouching in my intestines caused from being beat. I got chicken wing arm, damaged rib cage, and I had to go on bladder spasm medicine for 2 years. I suffered hell helping the government get those drug dealers. I earned that money 1,000,000 times over. 1,000,000 times. I'd like my money, a medical card, new name and social for me and Carl, and a letter of thank you. So I can help my family. I can take care of me and Carl. And a safer place to live. The woman that almost died to save her family and help the government, like they said, with a really big bust. Earn that money 100 times over. You know, you look at this and the hypocrisy, and it's coming down that it was Henry Maffei, that Will Bill from the Freemason, the con man Dave hired, was his daughter Dave was dating. They ran a con to pay off their drug debt to drug dealers, thinking they could scam the FBI out of money. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62. A pretty Michelle, a different one with long blonde hair, that had told an agent March 27, 25 that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. It was one of her doctors. She doesn't know who he is. And that when they bashed in her head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. Okay. Well, then they started threatening that girl's life. She was so mad. April 17, 25, she was in Sheetz parking lot in front of the feds, and the police screamed it out again. How that guy broke up with her and how much she really liked him. They were threatening that girl's life, and she went badass on them. I'm so proud of her. Not cowering to these people. You know, it's sad. I am 58 and a half years old. Me and a really young blonde girl with long blonde hair. Then little nothing. Pretty little girl. Only ones that have enough integrity and enough guts to tell on these people when society should have been outraged, lifting their voices up, going online and reporting them every day. Every day. You know, they even admitted September 30th, 25, that Henry Maffei's daughter outside, a biker screaming at her, that they told them that no one was to say a word to me in my life again. This whole thing was your family's debt to drug dealers, yes. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know. She doesn't even know you, and you had her raped and tortured and her skull crushed in because your family was in debt to drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. Was your family that incited her new husband's family to steal everything? Yes, but I really wanted that farm. I really liked it. listen to her friend Matt and her talk January 13th, 23, that the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life for letting those people be human trafficked, and it was your family letting them be human trafficked, yes. And your family human trafficked people to pay off those drug dealers that your family owed, yes. My God. And I listened to September 23, the original cartel already admitted they photoshopped everything. Did you know that? Yes. They even confronted her ex-husband and that it was medication errors and fraud that made her sick before. And they encouraged him for years to sue those doctors. Did you know that? Yes. He's screaming at her. Then January 1926, Henry Maffei shows up. And how he was so glad he never met me. I'm the one online that got a hold of her, the one through Instagram. I think you're beautiful and something weird about love on the beach. I don't know him from Adam. And I proved her ex-husband she's cheating. That's not cheating, that's you being weird. But I never met her in person. Me too, bucko. I tell all men she's not good enough for another man. It's like that shit's coming from you. And he's the one that told her new husband's family he'd steal everything for him. So that's Michelle's father. Found out her new husband's son was down there vandalizing stuff on that farm. Told him to stay out of it. I'll steal everything for him. No, he won't. And I have a judge friend that will enter everything in court for me and sign everything over to him. So he's a retired judge. Pete, friends with Ludic, letting him get away with crimes. Frame of that judge. And, while the FBI's busy and with Minnesota, I'll enter that tape of Weird with Yourself, the shower scene in the other room, and all the other tapes, and I'll pull a fast one on the FBI, steal all the cases' money. They'll hand it over to me, and I'll be long gone. I'll steal everything from them. I'll pull a fast one on them. Well, I told Internal Affairs, and I wrote the president. You don't get a damn thing. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62, an investigator showed up. The pretty Michelle apparently told again that this whole thing was a plan to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. And that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. And she doesn't know who he is. And that guy, Pete, that's running his mouth about her, she doesn't even know who that is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And they admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And they photoshopped that tape of Weird with Yourself. It's washing in the shower, washing yourself, and they photoshopped that in the other room. The whole thing was just a scam to extort money from the government. Okay? The young blonde girl showed up at the family church with short blonde hair up to here. How she was Judge Pete's daughter. Oh, I'm actually FBI Agent Will's daughter. And, I can have anybody drugged, beaten, raped. I just have to ask, guys, we're above the law. Dave's crazy crackhead girlfriend. And that's her drug dealing daddy. After September 30th, 25, within 2 weeks, I'm down in New Philly. And some guy and his older guy and his wife and a younger guy are in KOC and said, my God, nobody's to say a word to her. Everybody knew this was a scam to extort money from the government, or extort money to help that poor family pay off that drug debt to those drug dealers. And my God, that other girl's called Michelle too, the one with the short blonde hair, confessed to human trafficking people. No one's to say a word. Yeah, got the idea. Agent John, I would like my money, a new name and social for me and Carl, medical cards for us, and a letter of thank you. We need moved. I like my money I earned. Most people win awards for living through so much to help the government. I don't want any award. I'd like a letter of thank you. I'd like a new name and social. I don't need connected to this shit anymore. Never needed connected to Dave and his sins anyways. Thinking he can extort money from the government. With his drug addict girlfriend or drug dealer daddy and his friends running a con on you. You know, they already said that up in Summit Mall last fall. That's someone her ex-husband's girlfriend's dad and his friends ran the drug scam on. I like my money, a new name and social for me and Carl, medical cards for us, a letter of thank you, my money I earned. If it wasn't for carrying around the house, you would have never found out about Judge Peters in Florida. You got it into the Kingsmen from Texas, all those human traffickers that showed up from Buffalo, New York to Michigan to California, and all the other ones that came down. I wonder if they weren't the drug dealers he owed. Came down to help out to collect their money, with them admitting they were helping grab and sell people. You know, these assholes run around running scams on people. And I'll tell you what, Agent John, even somebody that said around me, they realize with what people say around me, they're in more bathrooms taping people than what you'd like to imagine. They are. They're in public bathrooms and vents or somewhere, little button cameras. They did it to me again. We were up in Westlake. Again, said something about seeing me in the bathroom. Okay? They're in more people's homes than what you would ever want to think. They sell pornography. They brag they sold my kids, grandkids on porn sites. They sold me on porn sites. And they brag they sold my grandkids on kiddie porn. And they sold me on porn sites, being raped, tortured, human trafficked. See, that's usually when I tell people I wish ICE would have been over my case. ICE shoots everybody. Should have shot them. Coming in your office telling people they're drug beating, raping me, and trying to murder me. Why didn't you arrest them for the confession of their crimes? Illegal monitoring is 7 to 15 years. They could never have my medical records. And where you said that ridiculous stuff on the recorder line, but you're gonna say you didn't know anything about the psychiatrist for sexual disorders, wanting your brother, that's disgusting. I almost yelled at you to stop lying. I don't think Dave's crack-headed girlfriend and her drug dealer father making up such a ridiculous scenario in my life. But these idiots are human traffickers, breaking in, roofing somebody with hypnotic drugs, stabbing with them. They're laughing they were stabbing me as I walked by. They would stab me in my sleep, drug me up, and you're sleepwalking for hours, no memory. How would you like to have a bruise and not know where it came from? Then giant bruises all over you. All you did is shower and get dry off and get mad, or take a drink out of a Diet Coke. room goes dizzy and black, and you got bruises, orange, lemon, grapefruit size, severe personal infection, throwing up, massive headache, going to the doctor, thinking you're dying of cancer from the well water you're showering in. And here you're being drugged, beaten, raped in your own home, and drugged up and told to say stuff. And like Walter said, oh, Mike DeWine's cousin, Sheriff David, a criminal attorney, my friend from the prosecutor's office, we all know about those drugs when you're sleepwalking under someone else's control. There's a whole list that calls sleepwalking. Dear God, back in the 60s, they had acid and LSD. Now there's a whole list of them that cause it. They admitted to using hypnotic drugs on me and drugged me up and told me to say it before. I never seen or talked to anybody. And I never seen a psychiatrist for any sexual disorder. And I never wanted my brother. That's disgusting. And I don't think their satanic behavior is funny. Making up horrible scenarios like that and drugging you up and telling you to say horrible stuff. Photoshopping and washing because they're sick and twisted, morbid son of a bitches. Thinking they're funny playing with somebody like that. I told you it wasn't my doctor. I told you I never heard of him. See, the cops said they never fell for it because of HIPAA. No doctor of mine could ever be with him. They could never talk to him. They could never have my medical records. It's absurd. There's like 30 years in federal prison for even, they don't know what HIPAA is. They didn't know the law of right to privacy, that police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. And like Officer Reinhard Louisville, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home before. It's illegal to look and listen. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office is a big fraud scheme. No law enforcement would ever fall for it. Drugged confessions, photoshopping and washing and stocking tapes, and fake dirty doctors breaking HIPAA. And ones you'd never heard of, and the most crazy thing of something like that. My God. They're the most dirty, vile, nasty people. Dave and I didn't even talk that way. He used to laugh that we had a rated G house. We didn't even watch dirty movies. We wouldn't allow him in our home. You know, we watched, what, Monk, Psych? What else did we watch? Murder, She Wrote? Walker, Texas Ranger. There used to be a bad show of drama, like Little House on the Prairie kind of shit. But it was like When the Heart Calls. It was like a bad drama, you just kept watching. But it wasn't dirty. It was like Little House on the Prairie shit. Father the Bride 1 and 2. We watched decent movies. We didn't swear. We didn't cuss. We didn't drink. We didn't smoke. I didn't even wear pants back then. The most I did is I trimmed my hair and I used some box color dye. Wore a little necklace and bracelet. I didn't even wear sleeveless shirts. For over 30 years, I didn't wear pants and I didn't wear sleeveless shirts. I was extremely modest. This horror that they put me through was devastating. Do you know I found out those idiots are sending out emails telling people, oh, she's been in several state psychiatric hospitals. I've never been in a state psychiatric hospital. They told people I have charges of rape and murder, and the police will not arrest her. My God, you'd be surprised if they didn't shoot you if you had all that. I have no charges of anything. I had one traffic ticket in 1989. I'm so squeaky clean. They're just running around lying. Just running around lying. And then telling society they need to take it in their own hands and kill me or harm me, show up and harass me. For what? Some drug dealer trying to pull a con on the FBI? You guys didn't find it funny that somebody like that wasn't in jail? As if. How could this society be so fucking retarded? I've never, ever seen such retarded people falling for any of this. Anybody, see, that's where even investigators, anybody puts a little common sense to what they did, no one can do this. It's the biggest fraud scheme in the world. Oh, but we're going to turn everything over to the police and they'll put her in jail for it. The police know I'm an FBI informant and they wouldn't dare touch me. And on top of it, when the case first started, some little white man showed up and said, for every idle word you tell us, I'll turn on you. And they tried to tell me he had sodium pentothal reports. That he'd been drugging me up and he worked for Dave. Then other ones saying that they were drugging me up before. Oh, what else they say? They photoshopped all their lies. Raced people out of the room in their own stalking tapes. Oh, what else did they say? The doctor they were using worked for the Florida drug cartel. By 19, I'd never met him in person. Oh. Then repeatedly, from March 1st to 3rd to 21, they put clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Then later on, what you're describing as showering, ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. To May 12th, 22 at noon, May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene in the other room. To drugs and told to say it from the first of the case to May 25th, 21, 8/9/21, December 9th, 21, January 19th, 22, February 2nd, 22, August 4th of 25, August 5th of 25, August 7th of 25, in August 30th or 31st of 25, drugs and told to say it before, and with hypnotic drugs, and she has no memory of those people from before. To the doctor not being one of mine works for them and they have lied from March 27th, 25 to April 17th, 25 to December 1st of 25. And that this whole thing is a fraud scheme to extort money from the government. November 23rd, 25, December 1st, 25. Yeah. To that family's debt to drug dealers. They talked about it all through the case. August 30th, 23. Get an idea. And they started in the beginning of the case, they're stealing for some poor family. Well, it's Henry Mafia. Dave's girlfriend's drug dealing dad. Running a con on everybody. Him and his drug friends. Trying to extort money from the government. And people are fucking fools around here. And low-educated retards. They need to check themselves and realize how big of fools he's made out of everybody. Now, Agent John, honey, I'd like my money. A new name, new social, medical card. A letter of thank you. And I'd like a new name and social for Carl, a medical card for him, and a safer place to live. I earned this 1,000,000 times over. And I don't want people to show up and say, she lost everything. I didn't lose anything. It's totally illegal. Learn your rights, learn the law. So scam artists can't scam you out of anything. It protects you. Our world we live in has changed drastically over the last few years. Drastically. Drug cartels, human traffickers, fraud schemes on everybody. These people are such fools they thought they could scam the FBI. And try a mom and pop store? No, they went right for the government, and there were still millions and endless amount of money from the government. They have big hopes and dreams, don't they? I'm going to go ahead and upload this.